Gentlemen, welcome back. I want to do another video. In this particular one, completely different from my other one. I'm, just going to be vlogging and, doing videos on what comes to mind. And today, I'd like to talk about why making tips as a delivery driver is the most important skill set you will experience as a delivery driver. Now, I just want to make a bit of a precursor. This is not a video about manipulation or any one specific tactic on how to leverage people to give you money. That's not what this is about. This is about honing your customer service skills to the benefit of yourself and your employer as well, because I think they're just as important when discussing this topic, as well as about the art of conversation in general. So let's get into it. So I want to just say firstly, in the cashless society that we are moving into today, this is a skill set that will probably become outdated, and it is quite sad. I know when I started out in pizza deliveries that I was making bucket loads, and then slowly it sort of just waned off, and it's more due to the nature of how businesses need to evolve in moving into a cashless society. And I really hate that word, but of course convenience is now part of the equation for a lot of businesses. It's not just about cost and quality now. Convenience of being able to get it to you without having to deal with your loose change and stuff like that. So I get it, and I'm hoping that the skills that I discuss here don't sort of take away from that at all. So making tips is not just about the extra money. Sure, the extra money is great, but it's about the art of conversation, really, about building that tension and release with the customer, and being able to really connect with them. And I mean, if you can connect with them on that level, on an emotional level, because when I've worked in sales is very emotional. If you can make them feel something, then they will of course give back without you even sort of expecting it or anything like that, or appearing to expect it or anything like that. It is a great skill to have, and it's a very transferable skill. I remember when I moved from pizza deliveries to sales, I know that it was a vital area, and it's the one skill set that I really felt that I could bring from that industry into sales when I did sales. And I did all right in sales, actually, and it's because of these skills that I developed. So let's talk about the tension and release, and I want to tell a specific story about this. So when I was doing pizza deliveries like years and years ago, I used to wear a cowboy hat. Everyone used to know me as the guy who wore the cowboy hat, and it really played to my advantage as well. I wore the cowboy hat for one reason and one reason only, and that is brand positioning. I wanted to make my own brand heard in amongst all of the noise that goes on when doing deliveries. Now, one particular story was when I went into a particular delivery to a hen's night. I was asked, "Are you the stripper?" And for most people, they would shy away from the tension. They would be like, keeping well away from that, trying to be as professional as possible. Not me. I ended up putting on a show. I ended up running back, grabbing my iPad, and putting on a song by Moby. I've forgotten the name of it, but it's one of the songs on his Play album, and I put on a show. And when I got out, I got $70 tip from that one interaction. I left an impression on that person, on that party, as a delivery driver, but I was also able to hone those skills as well and make that connection with them. So I think with that, the art of conversation is really important, is a really important skill in all industries that you work in, but in particular, it is one that you can certainly hone through being a delivery driver. Being a delivery driver is not the entry level position that a lot of people think it is. There are some great skills and great knowledge gaps to really pick up on, and in particular, I found the art of conversation being one of those, and having the freedom to say what's on your mind to a customer. I mean that in a positive way as well. Being unscrutinized, not micromanaged, not quality control in terms of what you're saying, and you can really leverage that tension. Notice that I'm saying leveraging tension and not leveraging money, because it's what I'm talking about here is not about the money, not about making bucket loads of money or anything like that. It is about picking up those customer service skills and really utilizing them, because I found that is what makes that's what makes it in the pizza delivery industry or food delivery industry, is knowing how to leverage that as well, and how to use tension to your advantage to be able to create that connection with your customer. But just getting back on the topic of the art of conversation, this is a skill to get used to in sales, to be able to step into that tension and be able to talk to somebody, sell them a product, sell them a pen, as that movie says, but really be able to talk and ask questions as well. I don't know of any real industry that gives you the freedom to talk about what you want and say what's on your mind, quite like delivery driving. Not to say going nuts or anything like that on what you say, of course, still got to be respectful, but it's going to help you in sales. It's going to help you be able to talk to the opposite sex as well, especially about sex. That's a topic that always brings up tension as well. Other thing is thriving in job interviews as well. I wouldn't have been able to make it with the jobs that I'm in at the moment and that I moved on to without having that ability and the art of conversation to be able to captivate people and really draw them in to your story as well. And I think that's what the importance is of making tips and delivering them, because the tips are the results of the connections that you build and the networks that you build, and things like that, the conversations that you have with everyday people as well, in an unscrutinized, unmicromanaged way as well. It is one of the few areas where you are not micromanaged on what you're saying, you're not recorded or anything like that. So as I said, not to go overboard with that, and not to do anything to the detriment of your employee or your employment for that matter, but having the freedom to be able to say that without being checked against, in particular some industries have legislation where you can't say this or say that, and or they might have their own company policies where you can't talk about this, you can't talk about that, and things like that. And I found that delivering pizzas is really a great job to be able to hone all of those skills needed.